Hi everybody, so I've come out on my walk today. As you can see, it's really snowy. Instead of bringing my sledge though, I've brought my book Jeremiah in the Dark Woods, and I thought I would read chapter 3 to you. Now, just to remind ourselves, we left Jeremiah heading in the direction that the dinosaur had sent him. Chapter 3. A crocodile with a clock in it. Jeremiah went on his way until he came to a house with a roof that seemed to be thatched with fur and chimneys that were shaped like the ears of a rabbit. A table was set out under a tree in front of the house, and a person, whom Jeremiah recognised as the Mad Hatter, was sitting there all alone. The Hatter had a half-eaten sandwich in one hand and a watch in the other, which he was shaking every now and then and holding to his ear. When he saw Jeremiah coming, the Hatter shouted, "No room! No room!" "There's plenty of room," Jeremiah said, and he sat down in a large armchair at one end of the table. This armchair felt warm to Jeremiah, as though, perhaps, somebody had been sitting there not very long ago. The Hatter was still shaking the watch and holding it to his ear. "What day is it?" he said. "Friday," Jeremiah said. "Can't you do better than that?" said the Hatter. So Jeremiah said, "Wednesday?" "That's better," said the Hatter. "Tuesday?" Jeremiah said. "Better still," said the Hatter. "Monday!" shouted Jeremiah. "Perfect," said the Hatter. "Have some more tea." He leaned forward and raised the lid of the teapot. "Sorry, I was forgetting. It's got a dormouse in there." And he slammed the lid back into place. Jeremiah next spoke to the Mad Hatter about his auntie's tarts and the no-good robber who had taken them. And the Hatter said, "The story I hear is that the Queen has lost some tarts also. Could be we have an outbreak of tart-taking going on." At that moment, a dark shadow fell across the table. "Save us!" shouted the Hatter. "It's a dragon!" He leapt from his chair and, with the teapot tucked under his arm, ran off in the direction of the house. "It's no dragon," said a deep, melodious voice. "It is I!" And then the dinosaur's head appeared, coming right up close to Jeremiah across the table. "That was the fella I was telling you about," said the dinosaur, and he pointed after the fleeing Hatter, who was just at that moment entering the house and banging the door behind him. "Any luck with the tarts?" "No," Jeremiah said. He picked up the half-eaten sandwich which the Hatter in his haste had left behind. It was a sandwich he was eating. "A turkey sandwich?" said the dinosaur. Jeremiah opened the sandwich. "No, fish paste," he said. After this, the dinosaur withdrew his head once more into the trees. Jeremiah got up from the table, waved to the Hatter, whose face he could see pressed to one of the upstairs windows of the house, and went on his way. When Jeremiah reached the river, he found a large crocodile stretched out upon the bank. This crocodile was cleaning its teeth with a toothbrush and smiling at itself from time to time in a small silver mirror. "My name is Jeremiah Obadiah Jackanory Jones," Jeremiah said. "That's nice," said the crocodile. It turned away from its mirror and gave Jeremiah a big smile. "I'm looking for the no-good robber who has taken my auntie's tarts," Jeremiah said. A thoughtful expression now appeared on the crocodile's face. "Would these be jam tarts?" it said. "Yes," Jeremiah said. "By any chance, would this jam be strawberry jam, all dark and delicious from the baking?" "Yes," Jeremiah said. "And is it possible that the pastry of these tarts is a golden brown with glorious little crisp and curly edges?" "Yes," Jeremiah said. "Then you have come to the right place," said the crocodile, "for I am most familiar with confectionery of this description. Come and sit beside me here, and we will discuss the matter." But Jeremiah did no such thing. He knew all about crocodiles. Instead, he said, "What is that ticking sound I can hear?" "It's me," said the crocodile. "There was a time in my youth when I mistakenly swallowed a clock." Once more the crocodile smiled invitingly at Jeremiah. "Now, if you would care to come and sit beside me, You might hear it better. And added, it has been known to chime, you know, on special occasions. At that moment, a fire engine burst upon the scene. It was skidding and swerving between the trees, throwing up clouds of dust, and its bell was ringing furiously. Which way's the fire? Shouted the firemen. There were 4 of them altogether. That way, said the crocodile, pointing lazily back into the trees. With more clanging of its bell, and the fire engine swung round and collided with a tree, causing one of the firemen to lose his hat. Then it shot off again as rapidly as it had arrived. When it had gone, Jeremiah said, Is there really a fire that way? Not that I know of, said the crocodile. Now, with regard to this clock of mine we were talking about. But even as the crocodile was speaking, a small dusty figure in an enormous hat came hurrying towards them. It was the Mad Hatter again. Was that a fire engine I heard? He said. Yes, Jeremiah said. Good, said the Hatter. That's what we need. Fire engines. Are you connected with a fire then, sir? May I ask? Asked the crocodile. Not exactly, said the Hatter. He took off his hat and blew a little dust from its flat surface. I've been having some trouble recently with a dragon. No, it was a dinosaur, Jeremiah said. Who told you that? Said the Hatter. The dinosaur told me, Jeremiah said. Then it was a dragon for sure, said the Hatter. For dragons, it is well known, will lie their socks off when they have to. Whereas dinosaurs, on the other hand, are the most truthful creatures ever to trample on the earth. The Hatter put his hat back on and patted it firmly into place. Well, dragons, of course, have this other bad habit of breathing smoke and flames everywhere, which is a thing I do not like. Ah, said the crocodile, so you called the fire engine to put it out? Yes, I did, said the Hatter. That is good thinking, sir, if you will allow me to say so, said the crocodile, and it smiled invitingly at the Hatter. Now, I myself have had some experience with dragons which, if you'd care to come and sit beside me here, I would be most happy to tell you about. But the Mad Hatter did no such thing. He wasn't as mad as all that. Jeremiah left the crocodile and the Mad Hatter and set off along the riverbank to the place where he believed there was a bridge. But it was now the middle of the day, and Jeremiah was feeling hungry. When he had put some distance between himself and the crocodile, therefore, he sat down under a small peach tree and helped himself to some of the red and golden fruit which was hanging there. After this, he took off his best boots and socks, rolled up his trousers to the knee, so that he might cool his feet in the river. As Jeremiah looked down at his own toes rippling and wriggling beneath the glass-green water, he thought again about the mystery of his auntie's tarts. The crocodile didn't have them, although he couldn't really trust that crocodile. The dinosaur didn't have them, he could trust the dinosaur. And the Mad Hatter didn't have them. Also, from what the Mad Hatter had said, it seemed as though the Queen didn't have them either. She didn't even have her own tarts anymore. At that moment, a brightly painted steamboat with little puffs of grey smoke rising from its funnel came chugging round the bend of the river. Beside the wheelhouse on the upper deck, a man in naval uniform was standing, holding a megaphone. Next to the man, and clinging tightly to his free arm, stood a lady in a flowery dress with a handkerchief held up to her eyes. "Ahoy there!" said the man. "Ahoy there!" Jeremiah said. "Our names are Captain and Mrs. Dawkins," said the man, "and we are presently in search of our daughter, Miss Marjorie Daw Dawkins, otherwise known as Goldilocks, on account of her beautiful long hair. She's been missing these 15 hours, and we are inconsolable without her." "What does inconsolable mean?" Jeremiah said. "It means that we're very sad," said the captain. The steamboat had gone past Jeremiah by this time, and the captain and his wife were walking along the starboard side towards the stern. "I've not seen your daughter, Captain Dawkins," Jeremiah said, "but should I do so, I will rescue her and send you word." "Thank you, my boy," the captain said. "You will be a gentleman in future years, I can see that." Mrs. Dawkins now tried to speak to Jeremiah, but was overcome by the sadness of the occasion and succeeded only in sobbing loudly down the megaphone. Finally, as the boat approached a further bend in the river, Jeremiah noticed the 5 gorillas he had met earlier. They were sitting in the stern under a striped canvas sunshade, playing cards and drinking bottles of beer just as before. One of the gorillas got to his feet, took off his hat and waved. "Ahoy there, Jeremiah Obadiah Jackanory Jones," he said. "Ahoy there," Jeremiah said. Then the other gorillas took off their hats and waved, and Jeremiah waved too, and kept on waving, while little puffs of smoke from the boat's funnel rose up into the blue sky like Indian signals, and the boat itself passed out of sight.